We cannot even follow out for 90 seconds. I do not know if the audio is going to fix itself for this run. Test number 3 for audio. Dude, the 90-second delay is a little overkill for this because we aren't actually able to verify if audio is working for up to 90 seconds, which means we pretty much run through the entire spiel that needs to happen twice, 3 times. So, I'm not sure if this is going to be working or what needs to change in order for this to work. Expanding the NECC stream capabilities has also introduced a fair amount more audio problems. For those of you watching, if you guys can hear me, eventually I'll be able to hear if I can hear myself. It'll be in the next like 10 seconds or so. For those of you that are watching, there is a delay on. That's due to the fact that we do have a competitive Valorant and that they are able to change, develop, and manufacture gameplay based on what the other team is doing, and we have a overview of all of that, which is why the delay is in fact on. So there's a couple things there, but if you guys are watching, you guys are a part of this and are dealing with the audio issues, this should solve some things. Hopefully. I hear myself.
Let's go. All right.
Okay, so everyone heard that spiel. That spiel. Wow. Okay, audio is on. Let's go through the thing entirely again, and we should be live here by 8:30 p.m. EST. All right. Chat, what is going on? How you guys doing today? I'm sorry for all the problems in audio we just had over the last 10 minutes or so. I am Caleb Glube. I'm the director of esports here at the NECC, and I'm joined here by Voltage Plays today. What's going on, Voltage?
What's going on, Caleb? We've got an exciting match against University of Rio Grande going up against Montana. Last week we saw Rio Grande play Becker, and they lost two out of the 3. But at the same time, they had some good plays going, and I'm excited to see what they can bring to the table this week. On to patch notes. You have insight on that you may want to share.
Yeah, so a bunch of things happened. Patch 1.11 came out yesterday morning for the US. And it brings in a bunch of different things. Most notably, Breach has been changed. His flashes have been developed in a way that used to flash anyone depending on whether they were turning around or not. So he just basically got fixed a little bit. His flash time got decreased a little bit. So Breach is a less useful character than he was, but there's still a couple other things that have been changed about him, so he could still be a viable character for today. The most notable ones for today are Cypher and Killjoy. Cypher and Killjoy both have been basically deactivated after death, in which all of their utilities that are still left around the map are now not useful. So previously, Cypher and Killjoy both were flank watchers for the most part, and now, on attack specifically, they have to be more cautious about when and where they put things due to the fact that after death, they're not going to be around to be useful anymore. So I'm excited to see how the NECC adapts to these changes and whether Killjoy, Cypher, and Breach have been picked more or less in the next game, obviously in the games that are to come. And getting into that.
All right, so another thing is Sky and Icebox will be not playable in NECC for the next 2 weeks. We're gonna have a 2-week quote unquote ban as the character and the map gets a little bit more fleshed out. Just so in case there's any major problems and the developer has time to fix them before we put them into competitive play here. I want to start off by thanking our sponsors, the NFL Alum and Helix Esports. Thanks for everything they do with Helix. Make sure to watch out for the upcoming Combine effort. ESTV, the linear TV platform for the NECC. You watch them on Roku, Samsung TV, and there's another device that I forget. Caleb, do you remember?
Physio would be the other device.
Physio, thank you. Also, on ESTV, we will be live for all of our playoff games that we're streaming on Twitch. We'll also be live on ESTV. So if you have a Roku set up to your TV in your living room, go ahead and put us on. Let the whole family watch. And then also HyperX, thank you for being the official sponsor of NECC. And I think we are about to get started.
Yeah, lots of things happened for this week. So just before we get into the match, I just want to give a quick playoff overview because we are just 2 weeks away from Valorant playoffs, which means everyone here is working to clinch a spot, whether it be better or for worse. So we've got Rio Grande in the lobby today. Rio Grande 1 is currently in 9th place, or 8th place, tied 8th place. So they're currently hunting for that top 6 spot. They need at least 2 more wins in order to get that spot, which means they need to win today in order to continue a playoff clinch. Whereas Montana is in a slightly different spot. They're a little bit more well off and a little bit more well established in the league, being at exactly. Sorry, I'm just trying to find them. They're exactly
Currently 2 and 4.
Exactly. They're 1 spot out of playoffs right now, which means they need to win this match too. So this match is going to be an incredibly tight match to get that last playoff spot that needs to be found in that top 6 division. So top 6 makes playoffs, and the first 2 teams will get a bye, but lots of different things are going on. So this is going to be an amazing match tonight. I'm just excited to see how these players go.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to reiterate what Caleb was saying, both of these teams are outside of the playoffs right now. Both of these teams need a win and a few key losses in the upcoming matches in the next 2 weeks. So at this point, both teams are looking to win here, and they're going to battle hard to make it into playoffs to hopefully win the NECC Valorant Championship. So at this point, it's still up for grabs, and both teams are battling for it.
Lots
we
of
are
things
loading.
happening. His Twitch chat's already getting riled up for the match. I love to see it. There's going to be a lot of things happening in this match. We're going to start on Ascent today. Ascent's a wide open map with a very strong mid presence. If you don't control mid, you don't control the map. Lots of different ways you can go about it. Lots of different ways you can develop throughout mid, throughout A site, B site. Lots of things that we're going to see. I expect to see from both teams Sova and maybe a Cypher, dependent on how good they are on Cypher, just because of how controlling those characters are on this map. Especially with B-Site Sova, just how much they move around and develop and think about B-Site. There's so many little pieces that could be added on with the Sova on B-Site. Now, coming from an attack standpoint, this map needs to be done quickly. It needs to have some flash characters. It needs to have a bunch of different things. And as we get into the pick phase of this game, we're going to see a lot of different things come out, and I'm surprised. I can't wait to see what happens. But from what we know of these teams, I expect to see something like a Reyna or a Raze from Rio Grande, whereas from Montana, I expect to see something more along the lines of a Phoenix or a Breach for this map, just due to the fact of how we've already seen them play throughout the semester. So it'll be very cool to see what we see and what we don't see, as we're still working out the picks. They're taking extraordinarily long, which means they're trying to figure it all out too.
Right. Or they're just making us wait, get a little more tension built up here at this point. So as you said, you're looking for certain characters. Let's touch on the economy of Valorant before we get too far into the game here. I'll go over this because I go over it every week with Jaren. Every kill that you get and every map win or loss, or round win or loss that you get, awards you a certain amount of credits. And that has slightly changed this week. If you're a regular viewer of the NECC Valorant Tuesdays, then it's going to be a slight change. If you're alive after the bomb explodes as a defender, you will receive up to, or a max of 1,000 or 1,000 less. I forget what that patch note said. And same thing, if you are on the attacking side and the bomb doesn't go off, or you don't plant the spike, and you lose. Sorry, I can't think about everything. And you lose, you will also get that decreased value. So it'll be a little bit different here. As we're jumping into Ascent, let's check out the teams here. All right, on the side of University of Rio Grande, we're gonna have the red side.
Sorry to cut you off. Our Valorant did crash on our stream computer, so we're still working on getting that started. That's the 3rd problem we've had today. Just gonna quickly let you know that Rio Grande's quickly coming through mid here. Keep going, Voltage.
All right, so we are going to see Rio Grande going through mid to market over towards B side. We've got 3 players near the market mid entrance, but Jay from the side of Montana is steering at the bomb. Bomb is down in market. He is currently on the B side alley, currently just watching it as the players for Becker are certainly trying to figure out what they're going to do in this situation with Bomb being down. We've got Sova arrows coming out. Definitely a big firefight here over towards Market. The Montana team has Rio Grande surrounded. It's a 1v3 1v4, make that a 1v3 as he takes down one. But it is going to be first round in favor of University of Montana here.
Couple key notes for that round, and something that we didn't get to talk about is the team composition. As you notice, it's very similar composition to having Sova, Breach, and Jet on both teams, but you see slightly different things. From Montana, you see Cypher and Raze, so they have no smoke presence for the most part, whereas Omen and Reyna on the other team, so they still have more of a flash presence, but they still have smoke. So that could be very manipulative of how this match is played. But in that last round, the reason that Rio Grande lost so fluently on that attack was because of how Montana pushed through the map. They basically went around every single area and circumference the entire team as they're pushing into site right now.
Right, so they are pushing into site. It is a 3v5 in favor of Rio Grande. Spike does go down, and University of Montana is going to have to retake site here. Skyline watching from B stairs into Market through a smoke and backs off onto site. 4v3 now as Raze goes down on the side of Rio Grande. Unknown Legend from Montana takes out Plade, making that a 3v3. And currently, the University of Rio Grande keep losing people, but Skyline picks up a kill on Scooby-Doo. Traded back out. Beefy picks up Skyline. Caboose picks up Beefy, and it's a 1v2 situation as Caboose is going up against Unknown Legend for the battle. Caboose wins that. The Spike is going to take out the remaining players. So everybody wipes out, but a good win there for Rio Grande. As we are going into round number 3 here, it is going to be a 1v1, one round to one round, and map number 1 on Ascent. And I'm currently looking at the kill leaders, and so far it's very spread out right now. On the side of Montana, but on Rio Grande, Plade, Caboose, and Skyline are the only ones with kills. Revs and Dr. Storm have not picked up a kill, as currently Rio Grande is looking to attack that B site for a second time in a row. They are moving quickly. No mid presence as Jay from Montana picks up 2. Plade and Caboose pick up 2 on their side of things. So it's going to be a 3v2, and it's all up to Unknown Legend and Scooby-Doo as they're trying to retake site from the spike being planted. Unknown Legend going through the back. Scooby-Dooby going through Market.
Something that you'll notice is Reyna is coming in a little bit faster than Breach is. So Reyna is going to be on her own for the start, unless Breach can pick it up, and Breach so far is picking up.
Currently already through that B main area, as they call it, and they're going to be splitting B in half, one going to one side, the other going to the other, but Unknown decides to wait back as Scooby-Dooby goes down, and it's going to be a 1v3, make that a 0v3 as Plade picks up Unknown Legend in the second round for Rio Grande.
Lots of things going on as Revan, a little bit more slight audio problems that should be solved right now. Big things happening is that you're noticing Breach and Reyna are always staying alive because they're sitting on the other site. Now, the last 3 rounds, Rio Grande has either worked through mid or worked through B and taken up much of the priority of getting to those sites. However, they've never really developed a full team wipe just yet. It's been a lot of different development, and Montana's just cleanly sweep through, Rio Grande's just cleanly sweep through and Montana so far, and it's been pretty well for Montana so far.
Yeah, as we see a mid take right now for Rio Grande, which is a little bit different from the past 2 rounds where they took B and it was successful for them. But it looks like they're looking to control mid and go A, as we see several players moving up cat through tree over to the A site. Skyline picks up a kill, and that's going to be a 3v5. And everybody is converging onto this A site. Spike should be planted by Dr. Storm. Currently 2 people staying on the defending side, and it's all going to be up to Beefy the boy. Currently 2 and 3 in the game. Make that 3 and 3, 4 and 3 as he picks up Skyline and Revs Bowler moving through heaven. All eyes are up to heaven. He does not have a whole lot of time or health to work with. Currently at 20 health, but he has to try to take that site, or that less money is going to come in on his side. And currently they need all the economy they can get. So I wonder if it's going to be a smart move for him to save and try to get exit kills as he does move over to that B site and leaves the spike alone. He is going to get a reduced amount of money, but he is also going to keep that Phantom, which is very beneficial. Phantom's costing 2,900 per round. So it's very beneficial that they do have that on hand. And it's going to be 3-1 in favor of Rio Grande here.
Yeah,
so
lots of things developing as we see and check the score right here, and me and Volt is still getting work on our chemistry still. But as you look at the money situation here, Rio Grande's got tons of money on their economy right now. In all honesty, Breach hasn't even bought since the second round.
Yeah, Breach currently sitting at 7,100. Kaboost is going to be the player that we're talking about currently. Skyline, the Breach from Rio Grande, seeing that Singing Man from the other, or from Montana, the other Breach. That's all, or I can't talk. I'm sorry. I was trying to say Jet is trying to kill Jet. As Jay picks up 2 kills over on that B site, he pushes through B main. They know to be looking for him. Caboose tries to take him out. Jay picks up a third of the round, and Jay is going to be the player to watch here. It's going to be a 2v5, but Jay has 2 kills of his own. The last 2 players from Rio Grande are sitting in mid. Beefy picks up Skyline, and it's all up to Dr. Storm. Currently 0-2 on the game. Going to be trying to pick up their first kill. Not able to currently. Unknown Legend cleans them up 2-3 in favor of Rio Grande, but Montana looking to climb back and make their presence known on this map.
And just again, another little problem where Rio Grande gets into mid and they don't get any picks, and therefore get fully surrounded by that with the B main flank, and then on top of that, a cat flank that ends up picking up Raze.
Yeah, they need to not only keep control of that mid, but also get onto a site. Having a couple players watch mid is not a bad idea. If you have your other 3 trying to go for a site, you're shutting down that rotate. As it looks like they're looking towards that A site. You see several players lined up on A long, and Plade staying back currently, seeing anybody from mid. Skyline getting onto site decisively, but getting picked up quickly. And it's all up to Plade, the one watching mid. That Sangin Man also watching mid, getting a clean up kill. 3-3. Now that we see it going the other way, anything that University of Rio Grande can do in your mind to change the momentum that Montana has built up?
In all honesty, it's kind of just been back and forth, and you're starting to notice Econ play into how and what they're doing each single round. As you noticed last round, Montana on defense took a very, 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 very clean Econ win. And because of that, now they have tons of money and are forcing Rio into a bad buy.
Yeah, so currently a weird buy for Rio Grande. Caboose trying to peek mid with the Phantom. He's the only one with... Sorry, nope. I lied. I was about to say he's the only one with a full gun and a full utility, but Dr. Storm picking up their first kill of the game on Scooby Dooby. And they're going to be flashing and getting onto A site decisively. Dr. Storm normally has the bomb, but that is going to be Skyline, the one putting the spike down as door is closed and then quickly shot open. They're going to be defending from the A site. Sorry. Caboose underneath in hell, trying to stop Heaven momentum, but gets picked up at the door to guard or to tree room. Rez Bowler finally picking up that kill. And it's going to be a 2v3 in favor of Montana here. Jay gets picked up by Skyline. 2v2. Skyline watching from that entrance to A. Skyline picking up that second man who was defusing the spike. And that's going to be a round win there for Montana.
Unfortunately, such a minor thing happened to that Jet there. She ended up picking up her knife onto the bomb, and because of that, when she started defusing bombs, she didn't remember that she had her knife out last. So when she got up to try and shoot the other Jet, she still had her knife out.
Right. That second man had the knife out and wasn't able to defend themselves. Sorry, excuse me. Yes, that second man. So 4-3
Lots of
in
similar
favor.
characters.
I know it's every time that I'm trying to learn everybody's who they're playing and who is who in that scenario. So currently staying outside of B site, trying to stay out of that recon bolt's range, successfully doing it as we see Jay moving up through B main, getting picked up by Skyline. What a kill there, and what a almost cautious play by them as Beefy Boy picks up Skyline. But damage done to Beefy Boy, not much, but it may be a difference maker in that moment. That Singing Man's trying to peek old Plate at mid, but they're staying in that B main for an uncomfortably long time. Now deciding to move on to site. That Beefy Boy lined up, picking up revs, but Caboose cleans him up. Oh, an unknown. What a headshot on Plate right there in mid. Caboose is watching Doctor put the bomb down, and it's going to be a 2v3. They are the lone defenders of the spike. Both of them playing together, but a note is Caboose has 10 HP. Oh, and what an angle that he tries to shoot that second man at, and finally picks up that kill. Oh, it tries to change the angle on Unknown Legend. Not able to, as Caboose goes down Unknown Legend, then Dr. Storm picks up Unknown Legend back, and it's just up to Dr. Storm with the Reina blind, not able to do that. Scooby-Doo's the one to pick up the final kill and the spike defusal, making it 4-4, and it's once again ping-ponging back to a tie game in map number 1 on Ascent.
Two major things happened there that you notice from both teams making mistakes, and that's really what changes round momentum. One of the major things is the team retaking site needed to go in as a team, and because they went in one by one, they allowed their opponents to basically give themselves a easy, potentially winnable fight. The second problem is Raze killed the previous player, I think it was Breach. Now, she didn't move, so Reina knows exactly where to check when trying to go and enter site on her own.
Correct, as it's going to be 4-4 with round number 9 starting up. And just a note, on the blue side, the defending side is going to be University of Montana, and on the attacking side, it's going to be Rio Grande. Rio Grande trying to take mid through market over towards B once again for the third time this game, and it looks like it's going to be working out for them. Currently 4-3 in favor. Never mind, Beefy Boy turns the tides, making it a 2-3 in favor of Montana. I was going to say Rio Grande had the preference there, but unfortunately, currently Beefy Boy getting a 4K, and I can't keep up with the consistency and speed of Beefy Boy this round. Currently 12-4.
Beefy Boy's been playing well. He's been doing exactly what he needs to do on Omen, and actually doing something more than what he needs to do, which is also grabbing kills. Now, normally this would be left up to the DPS or the, sorry, I don't remember what they're called in this game. But Reina and Jet are the damage characters on
duelist.
The duelist, thank you. But Omen's ending up taking that damage and doing what he needs to do on top of controlling areas in which he's controlling.
Correct. As we're getting into round number 10 here, looks to be a almost, I'm not sure if it's mid or if it's B. There's several people staying outside of mid link over on that B side. They're slowly walking out. Plate with an operator watching mid, uses the recon bolt here, trying to get some info, shoots at that Singing Man, but that Singing Man was in market, so no shot connected there. And it looks like they went through mid all the way over to Cat into Tree Room and trying to take this A site decisively. Caboose and Dr. Storm picking up a kill of their own. It's going to be 5v2, all up to that Singing Man and JX15A. As that Singing Man waited for Jay to come up and help with the retake. Both players going up towards heaven. That Singing Man with low HP picking up that kill. Excuse me, full HP. That would be Revs that was low HP in that scenario that I was looking at. Now that Singing Man moving over to Tree Room to try to rotate, get a different angle on the play. But Jay is falling behind. I would rather one of them take Heaven and one of them take Tree. Skyline picking up that Singing Man. Jay picking up Skyline. It's going to be a 1v3 and Jay deciding it's not worth it. Let's get out of here. trying to see if he can pick up any exit frags. Not able to do so here as Plade sneaks around the corner and picks up a nice shot on Jay with the operator.
Unfortunately, something we've noticed from this Montana attacking team, or Rio attacking team, is that every time that they're on site, they're not really working together as a communicative team in order to make sure that they're continually grabbing frags. Now, you notice Sova leaves site when both characters are still nearby site, and both characters were heard by Ray's on site, which means there's a little communication going on in the back end that needs to happen so that Sova doesn't leave site and leave his team unattended for, as well as Ray's getting off bomb site so that she doesn't end up losing her entire economy before the start of this round.
Caboose is hit from that fault line, but doesn't affect them too much as it was a almost an unnecessarily early fault line. Scooby-Doo picking up Rev's bowler, Skyline trading Scooby-Doo back out. Caboose and Skyline going on to the A site. Skyline picking up a kill, Caboose flashing heaven, trying to prevent anybody else from heading over here to stop the spike from going down. Spike does go down. Plade, Caboose, Dr. Storm, and Skyline against that Beefy boy, or Beefy the boy, excuse me. Skyline cleaning up with a third kill of that round. Currently 14-9 on the round. Fantastic, or on the game. Fantastic play from Skyline so far.
Lots of different plays going on there with a couple different weird flanks. As you notice, the Jet from Montana on the defending side had a weird little play, and not a lot of people would have noticed this. She ulted on her save round, which is great to do, but she didn't check her corner and therefore was killed by the Rays and minor things like that. But that kind of stacks up to understand that Rays then goes ahead and kills the guy Heaven as well because it's like communication error just again.
Looks like University of Rio Grande currently in favor going into the last round of the half at 6-5, are setting up outside of the B site. Playing very patiently, and I didn't see how Jay took so much damage. Jay currently on the side of Montana with probably about a quarter of their health gone, which I didn't see how that happened.
So
Flash coming out, Revs and Caboose moving through on that flash and smoke. Beefy picking up Revs. Unknown Legend gets picked up by Skyline. Caboose picking up Jay, and it's just back and forth in a 3v2 that is in favor of University of Montana. As Scooby-Doo comes around the corner with the ult and picks up the final kill on Plade. 6-6 going in the half, which the defending side, Montana, has to be proud of.
Something that we should note and we should touch on is that a little overlay problem is going to be happening throughout the rest of this match. Is the new update with Valorant allows teams to switch their sides. So now the overlay that we currently have on the stream is correct. However, the first 12 rounds, it wasn't correct, so that we had that slight problem. So Rio Grande is going to be on the defending side, which is what it says on stream right now, and Montana is going to be on the attacking side.
All right, so we're getting ready for the first round of the second half of map number 1. Beefy Boy and the University of Montana are on the attacking side, while University of Rio Grande, led by Skyline so far, are on the defending side. Looks like University of Montana are trying to take mid. It's going to be Scooby-Dooby and, that Sangin Man trying to take mid, while the rest of the team are outside of A. They're trying to shut down this rotate, which is very interesting. Scooby-Dooby picking up a kill on Caboose and Market, and they're playing together very well. Dr. Storm picking up a kill on Jay on the A site here. Spike is picked up by Beefy the Boy. And it's currently 3v2 as we see a slowdown back in play. And I'm currently looking at the mini map, seeing the rotation come out from Plade. Very smart, but Dr. Storm, the last alive on the A site. And it looks like Plade is deciding to play together with Dr. Storm, excuse me. Dr. Storm. And they're hanging out by Cat. And I wonder if it's a almost like a fake rotate here. Still 30 seconds, plenty of time, but they need to figure out what's going on as they are still over in that tree Cat area. and deciding to rotate different spots. Dr. Storm getting picked up by Scooby Dooby, and that's going to be 4 kills with Scooby Dooby, and the possibility of an ace is there. And I think Scooby Dooby is on the hunt for the ace, and there it is. Great plays for Scooby Dooby.
Couple things you'll notice is Montana started off, or sorry, yeah, Rio Grande started off that attack with a 2-3 split, 3 going A main and 2 to mid, and ended up grabbing picks everywhere, which forced Montana over to A site. Now, what ended up happening is they stayed there too long, and Bomb went to B.
Yeah, they did wait a little bit too long, but in the 2v3 situation like that, I almost would rather them stay and play together, is because they rotated 2 different sides, and that's why Scooby Dooby was able to pick up that kill on Dr. Storm. If they rotated together, I would have, it would have been a little bit better for the team. As the spike moves over to Scooby Dooby, and the University of Montana trying to take the second round in a row on this second half of map number 1. And how many numbers can I say back to back? As they look like they're going to take the A site. Skyline currently blinded, but able to dash over and get a kill. But Scooby Dooby picks up the trade on Skyline. 4-on-4 as A site is pretty much taken at this point for University of Montana. And possibly some blocking there between Caboose and Dr. Storm as Scooby Dooby is picking up 2 kills there. And it looks like the second half is going to be the Scooby Dooby show. Plade last alive, picking up a kill, and that second man is going to be a 1v3. Has a recon bolt come out, but sees Plade, or Unknown Legend, and wasn't prepared. 8-6, 2 rounds go in favor of University of Montana, and they're looking to make that continue as they have the attacking side. That is almost the the harder side in most situations, but they're handling it very well here.
Lots of different things happen as they're going forward. We've currently got a lot of different maneuvers, but currently Jets over on A main, Omen's going mid. We've got 2 coming from Tiles, and Raina's going to go up B main. So this is a normal default, which we haven't seen all game.
And if you could let the less experienced know what Tiles is, if you can describe that on the map.
So Tiles is on the left side of mid. So basically between mid and B main, that little corridor there, that's where Sova is currently sitting. Although he can't see anybody, there is a big fight kind of going on at A where Sova is pushed all the way up and his teammate has actually died. He's decided to back off of that fight.
Correct. So the spike is in the hands of JX15 heading over towards B, and University of Montana are starting to make their moves here. Rev's picking up Unknown Legends, but the bomb is on, or almost on site, That second man picking up 2 of their own, Jay cleaning it up, and the 4th kill comes from that second man. University of Montana with a 3rd round in a row, and Spike almost going down. Here we are. After 3 rounds in favor of Montana, it is now time for what I would expect to be a buy round, but it doesn't look like they are. It's kind of going to be an eco buy, a half buy almost, if you will, on the side of Rio Grande. It's going to be more difficult for them to defend. Currently a full buy coming out from the side of Montana. They've got 3 Vandals, a Phantom, and a Bulldog with full health on everybody, and I would assume full utility. As an interesting play developing from Rio Grande, 4 of the 5 players moving up that B main and leaving A open. All 5 players over in B main for Rio Grande, and that's a big tell for Montana to go ahead, jump on site, and plant the spike down.
As everyone's rotating back, you're seeing everyone go through B main, but Raze, Jet's going to catch Raze out in mid here. There it is. Oh no, she didn't get the kill. That's amazing. No. Wow. As you're already seeing 2 go down from the rotating side of the defenders, or the defenders here. Whereas we're still getting a couple different changes here, but we've still got Raze and Sova in heaven. So they're still pushing into site, even though they don't have the buy to take site cleanly, which is just to push money around. Nice trade coming out there from heaven, and Sova taking out Scooby Dooby here. But Sova's still leaving heaven, and he's still looking for that Oh, Jet's looking at him right now. And there we go. That's the cleanest kill that I've seen in a little bit. But Jet taking out Sova there. That's going to be the end of round number 16 here.
Not saying a man positioning themselves perfectly for that kill as Plate tried to go through that garden to tree area, and that Sangaman was waiting outside tree. As it looks like Montana is setting up for a B play this 17th round of this map. They are looking to go from that B main area through what Caleb is calling tiles over towards mid, deciding to split it out, but over there, that Sangin man along with Scooby Dooby trying to take mid decisively. 3 players in mid, 2 players in B main. Spike is over in that tiles area, just waiting to see where the picks are made. That's such a smart play. Let's not show our hand too much, but let's see where we can get the kills. Players from University of Montana spread out almost everywhere around the map. Most of them are in mid, but you've got 1 player B main picking up a kill. That would be Jay. And then you've got the beefy boy picking up a kill going to A to try to see if he can get a pick. Not able to, but that Sangin man picking up Plate. That's going to be Skyline and Dr. Storm all left up. And that's Dr. Storm last alive, as the spike is going to be planted by Unknown Legend. And I'm on board with Dr. Storm a little bit too late as that Sangin man with the ultimate picks up the kill.
Something you should notice there is Sova rotated off of B site early, essentially giving it up once that 1 kill came through from the Sova on University of Rio Grande, or Montana. I'm still getting it wrong.
Pick one.
Yeah, pick one, that, whatever. The attacking Sova basically takes out the guy on site and therefore has B site to himself. And he tells his team, great, I got B site, come to B site. And now the entire other defending team is on A site waiting with their pants on the ground.
Right, just to reiterate, if Caleb is confusing you a little bit too much, Rio Grande is going to be the defending team currently, and University of Montana is going to be the attacking team. With Spike in hand is going to be JX15 looking towards that B site, not trying to be too aggressive, but currently playing with that Sangin man, the Jet from University of Montana. Unknown Legend picking up the what do you call that? The drone from Sova.
Oh, I don't know if that is. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but I gotta say, Sova is just playing amazingly well with his utility. As you see that just darting on top of Jet's face,
but unfortunately does not go in the way of Plate, who we were just bragging about. That Sangin man able to pick up a kill. Dr. Storm last alive. Currently, Dr. Storm is 6-13. Gonna have to get a big win to bring it back, and not able to. Scooby-Doo picks up an operator and that kill. It's going to be 12-6 here. And that is going to be, let's see, 7 wins in a row for University of Montana.
Yeah, Montana's been playing amazingly well here on attack, and they're using the utilities, and they're forcing Rio to over-rotate because of the way they're playing. And you're already seeing this right here. Rio's going all to A, and Breach doesn't have bomb, so this is going to be a hard-fought A main fight. And it's going to be either one team's going to rotate out as fast as possible, or the other team's just going to get all the kills for free.
All right, Beefy Boy picking up a kill, Plate trading back out, Revs getting a kill on that Sangin man, Jay picking up Revs, and Caboose picking up Jay. Big trades just back and forth. 3v2 in favor of Rio Grande with Spike down. You see Scooby Dooby watching it closely with that operator, trying to make sure nobody peeks around this corner as Unknown Legend slowly moves through the defender spawn, is about to meet Plate on that ramp to heaven. I'm very interested to see who sees who first. I'm currently on with Plate.
This is going to be a timing battle. Brayna ulting in A main, grabbing a Vandal, and taking out the first one, Raze. She sees Breach, and she knows where Breach is now with his ultimate. Breach misses his ultimate, and Reyna's got him for free.
Not quite for free, as Caboose is able to slip out. Spike in hand is Scooby Dooby moving onto the site, and it's going to be Scooby Dooby going up against Plate and Caboose. Scooby Dooby currently the leader in the lobby on kills with 19 and 10. Oh, so low health. Needs to get a kill. Plate needs to take out Scooby Dooby. Right. Well, at this point, it doesn't matter. I was worried about caboose going down to the hands of Scooby Dooby and leaving her with better health than she was in. Plot moving through a main. Last alive on the side of Rio Grande has to get a win here. Is able to pick up Scooby Dooby. Doesn't know where Unknown Legend is, but that ultimate might have given him away. Knows it came from heaven area. Decides to go through garden, through tree, up and through glass, and just not quick enough as Unknown Legend turns and fires and is able to pick up the kill and the win. Map number 1 goes to University of Montana decisively in a 13-6 win.
Unreal game there, and you saw both Breach Alts in the last round missing their opponents and absolutely smothering the fact that where they were and what they were doing. Both breaches were hidden, unknown to the opponent, and absolutely giving away the position. 2 quick notes. I'd like to see the Breach and A main wait until he hears Reyna coming up and get that free ultimate on Reyna, as well as the Breach after post plant should just have waited for a defuse. Now, granted, Sova might not have tried to defuse it, but it would have been a more safe bet to wait for the defuse and know when to ult and where to ult than to just ult randomly. So lots of different things happen there, but as we say in Valorant, this game is the game of mistakes, and it's whoever makes the least mistakes wins. So lots of different things coming out, but we do see 2 very standout players, which was the Reyna and Skyline. Reyna obviously on the attacking side there for Montana was absolutely just controlling the map and making sure she knew what to do, but also Jet Skyline was the top frag on their team by a long distance and actually the match MVP there. So lots of different minor things coming through that are making sure what's going on. We're just trying to find out what map Rio Grande is picking, as the loser does get to pick the map. As we see Haven comes out here, we will give it a short second and take a 1-minute quickly break. So if anyone needs a drink, everyone needs a quick break of water, whatever you need, take a quick break, as we're going to come back in just a short little minute. So we have a be right back screen, but we didn't use it. still loading in here.
No mic audio.
No mic audio.
No audio. Yeah, it froze on loading, so I am working on getting back in there, but...
If we have no audio, that is 10 out of 10. Push audio tracks. It might be the audio track thing.
Put them on all tracks.
But yeah, put everything on all tracks.
There we go. I am back in it here. As Caleb said, Rio Grande won round number 1. As round number 2 is starting up on map number 2, and it's going to be a C take as Skyline and Revs both picking up a kill over near that A defensive side. Skyline pushing through, picking up Grant Ford lead. That is the new player, the substitute. Legend is out. Grant is in. Dr. Storm getting a late kill, second kill of the game for Doctor. This is going to be a 1v5 for Scooby Dooby and not able to pick it up as University of Montana goes down for a second round in a row. Great plays there from University of Rio Grande and decisively taking that site and holding it without losing anybody. No utility loss, or not utility, but no credit loss there. They're going to have a big money advantage going into this round, but they're going to stick with their Spectres here.
And now something that we didn't know beforehand is that Rio Grande picked this map, which means they're going to have some executes that we didn't expect. And now while I said their defense has to be a lot stronger on this map, their attack is already off to an amazing start.
Right, so notable changes is Grant Ford Lee is going to be the Jet player instead of that Sagan man on the side of Montana. And Sagan man switch over from Jet over to Phoenix. So still playing a duelist as, like I said, that Sagan man just took a lot of damage from Skyline. As Skyline and the rest of Rio Grande has once again taken C fairly decisively, only losing one, and that one is going to be Plate, one of their star players. But currently today, Skyline is hot. Dr. Storm currently 3-1, also watching the site with them. Everybody's just patiently waiting for the retake. Skyline getting a headshot on Grant.
One enemy.
Oh, that Sagan man picks up Skyline and it's all up to... Who is that? Revs Bowler, who this round was playing Cypher, which is interesting. Oh no, Revs was playing Cypher last game. What am I talking about?
Something that we're noticing is from Montana, we've got a triple DPS composition. Absolutely crazy what they're doing. We've got Phoenix, Reyna, and Jet coming out from them, as well as Breach and Omen, who aren't really controllers or defensive players in any sort. They're both pretty attacking players. So there really isn't any slowing players on the Montana front. But flipping over other team, we've pretty much got the same kind of composition except for Cypher, whereas Cypher's a much slower player, and Soba's going to be a little bit more information knowledge as well as an initiator.
But Cypher is also very knowledgeable with that camera, with that ultimate. Oh, Scooby with a great blind kill. Revs is around the corner. Scooby able to pick up one. Jay picking up Plate. As it is looking like Rio Grande wanted to go towards A, but I'm curious if they try to get out. It's all up onto Dr. Storm, and a 1v5 throws a paint blast, I believe, paint shells. There we go, there's the name. Is flashed from behind from that Sagan man. Tries to pick up a kill, moving too much while shooting, not able to do so. Scooby picking up a third kill, and that's going to be 2-2 in rounds on map number 2, excuse me. And they bring it back very quickly.
Again, we have Rio Grande on a weird buy, and every time they have a weird buy, they don't really fully buy out or fully buy in. They kind of all buy different guns and do their own kind of things, and I'd love to see Rio Grande on this round start to take in what they learned from last game and just play a little bit slower with their save rounds. Because what they end up doing is end up throwing out different things, all different directions, and harming how they end up developing their gameplay.
Yeah, agreed. So, but we were talking about weird buys. They decided to go Ghosts and Armor and have money for the next round. Skyline picking up one, Jay picking up Skyline and Plate. Currently, Jay going from the Sova to Breach, which is an interesting change, but understandable. And they currently in a 2v3 with only a Phantom and a Ghost to work with. Caboose has Phantom in hand, looking out Garage towards Courtyard, gets taken out. Grant picks up Dr. Storm for the final kill. That's going to be 2 or 3 rounds in a row for University of Montana on this defensive side.
Unfortunately for those guys in Garage, they were being absolutely surrounded. There was 2 guys from behind, 2 guys in front, and they had no idea what to do. So they just had to choose a direction and go out. And unfortunately, they chose outside the garage door. And there was 2 guys already waiting with their guns trained on that door, and nothing could happen that would change that outcome of that round.
Absolutely agreed. And so at this point, we are looking for a big win as Rio Grande is able to buy what they want to. They've got the economy to do so. And it looks like even if they lose this round, they've got the economy to buy what they want next round as well. They're spread out all around this map. The farthest player up is going to be Skyline, all the way in sewers over at A. Everybody else is slowly following up towards A. Skyline picking up a kill on Grant. Scooby-Doo picking up a kill on Caboose over in that mid area. Looks like, I'm not sure where that kill came in, but Skyline picks up Scooby over on the A site, and it is all a Skyline show so far. Currently 9-3 as Skyline and Rio Grande are going to be taking this A site and putting the spike down. Singing Man looking to go heaven while they wait for the rotate from everybody else. Beefy deploy outside of that defensive entrance. I guess it's not really main, but outside of the defensive entrance, picks up Rev's bowler. Dr. Storm picking up Beefy Boy, and everybody's eyes on heaven as that Singing Man goes down. Jay picking up 1, trying to pick up 2, not able to do so. And Rio Grande bringing it back the other way here. But Montana does have the utility to buy this round. They've got more than enough. And I'm very interested to see a full buy versus a full buy here after losing a round. Montana needs to win this or they're going to be possibly on low money. But I'm looking at the buys, and currently the only person with low money for next round is going to be the Singing Man.
Yeah, honestly, Phoenix is going to have a clean buy next round because Jets is going to be able to buy him and make sure that he's able to buy and compete in the next round. But something that you should notice on the last round is that it really was a slow rotate from Breach, and that ended up forcing out Heaven and Phoenix and all those guys to make sure that they were initiating on site so that Breach could help, but Breach wasn't there to help. So lots of things happened, but it's a little faster rotate needs to come out from that A site. As we go into this round, we're seeing a default for both teams, except Right is pushed up all the way through, almost to A lobby already, and we're starting to see everyone slide over to C long, as that's been the site that they've been able to take the most cleanly.
Correct. 2 of the 3 wins for Rio Grande have been on this C site as Skyline, their star player, their most potent player is down, but Caboose is trying to take that spot with a kill on Jay there. And the information from Cypher coming out with big dividends here as they know where the other players are set up here. Defending Barrage is going to be Dr. Storm, moving up a little bit too much in my opinion. Doesn't know Beefy is there. Beefy picks up that kill. Grant and that Singing Man waiting outside of the defensive entrance to see Beefy Boy in Garage trying to cause a ruckus. And here comes the retake on the side of that Singing Man. That Singing Man picking up Caboose. Plade picking up Beefy Boy. Scooby-Doo getting a kill on, Revs. Plade. Everybody's going down. I can't keep track.
All good. Another big rotate coming out for the side of Rio Grande, or Montana there, as every single character was surrounded, and there was no escape for Rio Grande, trying to get out of long, trying to get out of Garage, trying to get out of CT. There was just no escape, and they couldn't get off-site to be able to play that as a retake. So, a couple different things happened there, but major victory for Montana as they did break the economy for the most part again, as you see another awkward buy come out for Rio Grande. You have 2 Ares and 2 Vandals and a Phantom.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward for those Ares because they've got half armor and then they've got Ares, which are generally not the weapon that you want to have in hand. They're looking to go over towards C again, and I wonder if it's going to play into the hand of Montana, because at this point, Montana's got the advantage. They won last round on this site. They know how to retake. They know where they're going to be setting up. Beefy Boy going down to the hand of Skyline. It's going to be 3v3, 3v4. Make that 3v3. And then Second Man finds a kill, and it's all up to the sorry, I thought that was a sub-in. No, it's all up to Scooby-Doo against Plade and Revs Bowler. With Spike down, this is a big round.
And something that you'll notice is that exactly after they were able to get off site, they did. They're already off site, and they're both playing down long, allowing Brina to have full access to site. So she needs to spend more time clearing corners that they're not in, and then she needs to try and bait them out of long.
One player remaining.
Big information there from Revs, able to hit with that recon shot. I don't know what to call it from the camera.
All good.
So they knew exactly. Right, so they knew exactly where Scooby was gonna be able to make that kill easy, and I cannot string words together easily, apparently.
It's all good. We're having a little bit of a tongue twister tonight, as we have a lot of very similar characters and a lot of very complicated names. All good. The spy cam shot out its little fire ability. It's a nice little shock card. But as we're seeing, Jet's already pushing through A main. She's going to be met with 5 players from this Montana team.
And it may not be the worst thing if Grant tries to turn the corner here and get information, because that's going to be a lot of information, seeing at least 4, because currently Plade is in that type of area. But currently Grant's just going to see 1 and hear the other. So the rotate should be coming in here on the side of Montana, as it's going to be a 3v5. Doctor picking up a great headshot on Grant there in the sewer area. And I wonder if they decide to back up and this rotate from Jay. I'm on with JX15. It's fantastic. Oh, look the wrong way, but gets a lucky shot on Dr. Storm. Caboose cleans it up, and it's a more fair 2v3. It's all up to Caboose and Revs, and I feel like I keep saying their names as the last 2 players. And I wonder what they're doing to stay alive that their teammates are not.
Something that you'll notice is already rotating into A lobby, so she knows that they're not there, and that forces Omen all the way over to C site where Phoenix already is.
30 seconds
so they're
left.
already going to be met here, and their rotate is now null and void. They're just going to be rotating to the same players that they would have seen A.
One player remaining.
Takes out one. Phoenix is looking for the other. Breach is on site now. Phoenix fast fully, and that's a free kill for Phoenix on the C site there, and a free round for this Montana team here.
Yeah, it was a great defensive rotate there from that second man, and brings it 5-4, and it's almost concerning with how potent last game this Montana offense was, that they're not able to string a few rounds together. Outside of the first 2, the only team that's won more than 1 in a row is going to be Montana. You're really looking for Rio Grande to string a couple wins together here to make it easier on them, give them more of an opportunity when they are on the defensive side to pick up a couple kills. And it looks like they're playing Courtyard to B, which is a very interesting play. Almost in my mind, B is a sec afterthought. You're looking to go A or C, and if you have to rotate to B, you're going to B. Grant picking up a kill on Plade. Oh, and Skyline almost picking up a kill on Grant, but picks up Sangan, and I thought that was their own Phoenix, but they don't have a Phoenix.
Stay down.
Skyline is sitting in the back of site trying to defend. It's all
One
up
player
to
standing.
Jay. Sorry, it was all up to Skyline. I lied. I thought Jay was the last player alive. And the spike is going to be defused, and that's 2 in a row for Montana here in a 6-4 lead. Map number 2.
There's still lots of time for both teams to figure out what they're doing this half. The thing I would like to point out is that Rio Grande is on a buy round right now, but if they buy right now, the last round of the half, they don't have enough money to buy. So we see this kind of half-save-ish momentum where Caboose doesn't buy full armor, Raze doesn't buy a full gun, and Skyline doesn't buy full armor and doesn't buy full gun, sitting with just the Bulldog and half armor. So we see kind of half buys so that they can buy next round no matter what.
Yeah, Plade is going to be the only one that cannot buy next round if they end up losing this round. They are looking to go C once again. Plade does have the drone out in mid, and Jay was going to meet them. Skyline goes down, which is a big kill. Skyline currently 13-9. The only positive player on the side of Rio Grande.
Spike planted.
Caboose puts Spike down. Dr. Storm gets a lot of information in garage. Scooby picks up Plot A. It's going to be a 3v2. No, a 4v2. I was correct the first time. As they're finally off of this site. Revs just still showing himself down that mid. I would have loved him to more, get out of the way a little quicker as Scooby picks up Caboose, and it's all up on Revs, and it's not going to be enough. 7-4.
Get hit by the breach alts there, and that's because just slightly ever so fast into that corner, and Breach is not expecting it, and therefore he only hits the main site where bomb's being touched, and that's a free kill for
last round before the hash.
As we go into this last round here, there's a couple things we haven't noticed so far. Omen on the Montana side hasn't used his ult this half. Raze hasn't used their ult this half. Same with Jet on both teams, hasn't used their ult this half. So we could end up seeing a bunch of different ults be used here as everyone's realizing it's last round. Let's get all the abilities out and let's force it all on the other team.
Yeah, on the side of I don't remember Beefy or Dr. Storm using their ult last game at all. Grant has an operator down A. Skyline challenging it after Revs went down, and that was a great challenge. Skyline's going to be able to pick up the off if they desire. Line coming out from Reyna. Scooby picking up 2. Oh, and not able to pick up the kill is going to be Caboose. Oh, finally picking up that kill, and it's going to be 3v2 Caboose and Dr. Storm. The last 2 players for Rio Grande alive. Take the bomb, and it looks like they may be moving out here. But Jay on the long rotate behind, the slow rotate, is going to be there and know that they're rotating out. And I wonder if it'd be a smart decision for them to turn around now and try to go back to site. But Beefy is deciding to stay there and watch A because they don't know where they went. Sangin Man moving through B, kind of playing cautiously in B, then deciding to go past garage. And they're stomping around.
The turn around. They turn around as Omen just starts to leave sight. Phoenix he can't see them, and they turn back to A. And
30 seconds left.
To play on A. Something that you should notice is Beefy's going to hear them in short. Yes, right now. So he's going to know that they're back on A. The thing that you need to do if you're Omen in this situation is wait for your Phoenix. Pay post plan as a team, and he's going to do just that. Raze and Breach on site, both very controlled in the situation. Raze sitting in that cubby and Breach going back to short. Phoenix is now here on site, ready to go. Both these players, Omen putting down smokes, making sure that they don't have ideas of where they're going. Raze is full flash right now, but they waited too long. Raze said they can see again. And Breach and Raze just holding down this corner, making sure that no one can see. Raze made in. Beefy kills Raze, and there we go. Beefy's on site, knowing exactly where Breach is. Breach stuns Beefy Boy on site. This is a 1v1, and it's just going to be who has more patience, who can control this. And Beefy's looking the wrong way. He's fully flashed, and that's a free round for Breach. Good stuff.
Free round is a little bit much there, as it
Switching
was a well-fought battle, but Rio Grande finally picking up another round, making it 7-5, and they're currently now playing defense. Sorry. They are currently playing defense. There we go. I had to double check, do a double take there. And it's going to be interesting if it changed at all from last map to this map, or if Montana's offense is just going to be too overwhelming for this Rio Grande defense. Currently, like I said, 7-5, so they have to win 6 more on the side of Montana or 8 more on the side of Rio Grande. So it's going to be an uphill battle.
Hard. 100%. I was just playing deep B here, and we've got a little bit more C presence than we have on A presence because of where Jet's playing. The Montana team is going to start off with a fast A push. They've already got smokes on site. We should start to see rotates come out from not only Jet, but also Raze and Cypher. As everyone goes on site, we've got to pick them out from Jet.
It's a fantastic pick through the smoke from Grant. Plade and Heaven trying to wait it out. No, Jet's up here.
Spike planted.
And isn't quick enough as Grant picks up the second kill of the game. And it's all up to Revs Bowler in that A lobby area, moving into sewers. Must have heard Scooby's footsteps because the Crosshair was trained on that area, but Scooby just kept running and wasn't able to track.
Good stuff coming out from both teams there. Good fast push on a site and a lot of good frags coming out once he had that bomb down, but just not enough from the defending team there in order to secure the round as he got the first and second, but they couldn't get any more past that. It's just a back and forth between these two teams, and I love how tight this game's been so far. But what you have to do if you're Rio Grande here is make sure you don't do what you did last time. You can't fall into a consistent loss rounds. You need to win at least one round and get this defense off to the right start.
Yeah, as we see this offense from Montana moving into Garage. All 4 players currently in Garage. Skyline picking up an important kill. Grant also picking up an important kill of their own. All up until Beefy picks up that final kill. It was a jet show this round. 3v3 as Grant's moving over to C, but decides not to. Spike going down in B.
Spike planted.
Great flashes coming in from Breach, and I believe that's going to be a boost. It's going to be that Breach. Picking up Scooby-Doo. Grant, back of sight. Almost gets the kill on Reds with a headshot. Beefy able to clean it up, but Beefy gives his position away with that shot, and that's going to be a round in favor of Rio Grande. Their first offensive round that they've won in this series.
Pretty good coming out from Rio Grande. You saw a really good rotate come out there, and you thought that everything was going to happen the way you thought it was going to happen. But Montana decided to go B instead of C. And because of that, Rio Grande already had them surrounded and had a really good double front in which 2 guys were C-Link and 1 guy was A-Link, and the A-Link gets the first pick. Thinking you've got more advantage on the C-Link side than anyone else, you just W key in, and you've got 3 guys on site against the 2, and you overwhelm Jet back site, and then Omen gives away his position, not able to hide on any corners on top of a box.
Bomb buddy out.
Yeah, and it looks like this is going to be Rio Grande's almost default. Nobody's watching Garage right now. Jet is going to be moving over there, and that's going to be... Who is their Jet again? Is that Grant? No, that's going to be Skyline, excuse me, of Rio Grande watching. Phoenix is going to be that Sangin Man is kind of teasing outside of Garage there. Smoke coming out from Skyline. They're just kind of playing, toying with the idea of somebody pushing. But the smoke comes out and kind of shuts that down. Jerome picks up that information that somebody is there, but the push comes in from Montana over to the A site. Caboose is in heaven. I can see them ping to heaven to kind of inform people, hey, somebody's there. Scooby-Doo picks up Plotty. Skyline picks up Jay. 3v4 in favor of Rio Grande, but that's only 1 player favor. Beefy trying to watch the back rotate, but everybody who's going to rotate from that direction has already been there. Oh, and Caboose is waiting his time. Oh, picks up a perfect flash and goes down. Scooby picks up a kill on Dr. Storm, and Caboose knows that they are there.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, and it's a 1v1 Beefy going up against Caboose. Caboose knows where Beefy is. He pings the bomb. Tries to get him to come out, and he does, but Beefy's trigger finger is just faster. 9-6 in favor of University of Montana as we are moving into the late stages of game number 2. What can Rio Grande do to stop this offense from Montana? Excuse me.
There's a lot of things that you can do. One of the things, I mean, this round they're going to be stacking C, which is not going to work out well for them because it looks like Montana's going to be going A already. But a lot of things you can do is just work on those faster rotates. You notice Cypher and Raze aren't there until Montana's fully on site. They were fully on A site. Get out of my way! Rio even started rotating. And as you see the C push already, Jet's going to be behind Omen before Omen even realizes what's going on.
They're going to fight down. They've got information. They know where Spike is. Sorry, excuse me.
Go on.
All right, so in favor, currently 4-3 in favor of Montana this round. But the information is there. If Caboose is able to play this smart, and unfortunately backs up and just gets overtaken by Scooby-Doo, and that almost worked out for him. If they didn't just have pistols, that would have worked out.
It's 100% a good point. It's just a save round. You got to get it over with quickly sometimes. But well done by Rio Grande pushing in. They got a quick kill quickly. It's just they needed to get that long-range fight. And unfortunately, Ghosts aren't nearly as good as Vandals. So when you go in that trade fight, they might have hit more shots than Montana did, but they just couldn't win the damage battle. So ended up going into the side of Montana's favor, and they go into this round with a full buy and hopefully a good competitive round.
I feel like every time I look at the credits, Plate is at 900 while the rest of his team is all at 2,000 or above, which is just a very interesting scenario.
As we're already seeing the rotate come out here, we've got 4 guys going to A, but there's a lot of different kind of maneuvers going on with Phoenix already on flanking here, and Cypher flanking the team behind. So we've got 2 different flanks. If Phoenix is going the wrong way, Cypher's behind Jet. Cypher's gonna get that kill on Jet. We get another kill coming out to short, and Phoenix is on B site, missing his team.
Exactly.
Unfortunately,
yeah, that's
the situation there.
Yeah, that Sangin man had no idea what was going on that whole round. It felt like he was just, I'm gonna hang out at B, see if I see anybody. You know, I'll just chill. He was Matthew McConaughey in every movie Matthew McConaughey has ever been in. Just hanging out, vibing. He picks up a kill on Skyline.
This is a potentially winnable round from Sagan if he's able to isolate 1v1.
30
He's got
seconds
Cypher
left.
right in front of him. He's able to take that kill, and Breach backed off from long, so he should be able to isolate a few 1v1s. Cypher rotates off and sees, even though they have bomb, and Raze is coming back on play.
Careful now.
So while Phoenix is not going to any challenges, I guess he is going to challenges. He's probably just going to try and save here and make sure that he continues to keep that gun.
10 seconds left.
And so that he can buy and his team can buy next round, because remember, Beefy Boy only has $700, so they need to buy him, and that would be where Sangin Man jumps in and buys his boy, so to say, in Beefy Boy, making sure that he's got everything that he needs in order to win the next round.
Yeah, it was a very interesting play that could have worked out for Sangin, but it didn't. He didn't push up when the time was necessary to push up, and then he didn't have enough time to make the play. So at that point, it was smart to move back. But he definitely could have picked off 1 by 1. And I do want to highlight Scooby Dooby, currently 23-9 in the lobby.
No charges left.
Really just fragging out for this Montana team. A very interesting turn of events, because I feel like every time I'm talking about Montana, I'm talking about the whole team about getting frags, but it's really a Scooby-Dooby show this time.
Yeah, and as you notice, Reyna is just a strong, fast character, and she's doing exactly what she needs to do. She's understanding isolation. She's understanding making sure she's moving around on the map properly. And in all honesty, she's just playing her kit, right? She's just doing what she needs to do in order to win. Now, as we see everyone rotate already off of A site, we have a strong C presence coming in from the defensive side. Sangin Man takes out Skyline into C link. We see another pick come out from BP Boy on the C. We see a Rebs Bowler trading that. Sangin Man takes another on Rebs Bowler, re-fragging that. Reyna misses the kill on Sova, but Sova's 1 HP in garage, and Breach is rotating to C link, and Sangin Man saw him, so this is going to be a 1v1 right here.
One enemy
Reyna grabs the
remaining.
kill on Scooby, and we know where the last one is. There we go. That's the round.
Yeah, it was a very well executed round. Scooby-Doo was there to watch that rotate and got to see one of them rotate, get them low health, and put their team in a better position than if nobody was watching that flank. And it was very well executed that Sangin Man wasn't able to do last round.
100%. Sangin Man staying with the team this round and just trading out frags, making sure he's getting the entry frag and trading out the frag once Rebs Bowler took out one of his teammates. Doing exactly what he needs to do. He shouldn't have been lurking the last round, and that's what ended up patching out his team.
As we're moving on, it is currently 11-7. 2 wins away from Montana from taking the series. Oh, Caboose teaming up with, who is it in there with Caboose? Sova, Plate teaming up, getting that kill. Plate at low health though, so has to be careful and be able to just use this utility that Sova has for information. Shoots a recon bolt, and that's gonna pick up 3 of them. He's able to shoot through, picking up the ultimate from Phoenix. Getting damage while he's at 10 HP is fantastic. Gonna use the recon drone, excuse me, can't think of words. to try to get information. Able to get information, but Sangin Man picks up the 10
player remaining.
Lade, and it's all up to that Sangin Man who just killed his teammate Grant Ford Lee with the molly. Oh, and at low health, it's not going to be an easy battle, and it wasn't as Caboose cleans him up, making it 11-8. It's definitely winnable for Rio Grande to try to send it to game number 3 here. And like we were saying at the beginning of the broadcast, Rio Grande needs this for playoffs. And I after the audio issues, I don't think we got to mention that.
No, I don't think we did mention that. We mentioned it during the audio issues. Rio Grande and Montana both challenging for playoffs and just one match out of playoffs. For this match for Montana, it puts them in a tie with Hood College in order to play in that playoff spot. For Rio Grande, it puts them in a situation where they can win next week and I'll still be able to play in playoffs. So Rio Grande needing this to get into playoffs, and Montana also needing this to get in playoffs. Very massive match for both teams here.
Yeah, both teams are should be playing at their full potential. It's week 7 of 8, and currently we are getting into a push from Montana onto the A site. Plade is down 4v5, make that 3v5 as Grant with a great dash pick up Caboose. Skyline picking up a kill on Jay. Scooby picking up Skyline, who just pulls out the ultimate, which is just unfortunate for them. It's going to be a 2v4. Oh, and Dr. Storm, what great shots with the Spectre. And almost a good nade as Revs is waiting in that area. I'm sorry, Revs was their teammate. Excuse me. Dr. Storm missing the ultimate on Sangin, but Revs Bowler able to clean it up and defuse Spike. 9-11. That's 2 rounds in a row for University of Rio Grande, and that is the first time that they picked up 2 rounds in a row outside of the first 2 rounds.
100%. Actually, they've done it once more. Oh, no, they haven't done it once more. Sorry, I'm just looking at the wrong scoreline here. That's the second time they've won 2 rounds in a row. And that just tells you something about consistency. While Rio Grande is winning rounds, they're winning non-consistent rounds, right? They're winning rounds where they don't have buys. They're winning rounds where they're doing things that don't make sense. And that's something that Rio Grande has brought to the table, not just this week, but every single week. They're winning rounds where they're not doing the things they need to do that are just normal. They're doing things that need to happen in order for them to continue to stay in the game, and that's something that's just unreal. Rio Grande has a level of understanding of this game in which they can do weird things and make it work, but they just can't grab the normal things and make that work.
Right, and speaking of normal things, you'll be picking up Skyline, but look at the purchases from University of Montana here. We've got a Bucky, Sheriff, 2 Vandals now in a Phantom, and that worked for them. That was very odd.
What a weird save round, in all honesty, what to say, but Jet just dashing in, using her Bucky to her advantage, knowing that the Bucky's still a slightly awkward gun to use, and just jumping on top of people and making sure that they die. Now, the thing you should see from Rio Grande is they're not in a great situation where they can buy next round, and Plade bought an op, which means if they give an op up, and sorry, Caboose free kill for Scooby-Doo. Nice play by Scooby-Doo on that long flank. But Plade bought an op, which means if he gives up this op, he not only gives them, the Montana team, a massive advantage, but he also gives up $5,000 plus in which he bought his kit for the ability to buy this op, right? So there's a lot of things that are going to happen in this next few minutes that we're going to see as Montana is going to try and push this out of him because they know that he has an op and they've heard around the map a few times. They're also going to be a little bit scared of where it is. Phoenix jumping in his spawn. Oh, it's a missed kill!
Oh, match point!
And that's the op. Rio Grande in a terrible situation for the buy here because they have now lost almost all their money onto 2 players and just able to buy kits on Caboose and Dr. Storm, with Revs Wooler maybe being able to buy a full kit.
Yeah, Skyline deciding to go Spectre and half shield. Caboose with a is that an Odin?
That's an Odin, yeah.
With full shield. And Ares on Revs, and then a Phantom and full shield on Doctor, and Friday with a Bulldog in full. Very weird buy, and I wonder if that's going to work for them, because last time a weird buy came out, University of Montana was able to handle it cleanly.
This time, though, we've got a big presence in mid from University of Montana, with Jet at backside, just getting sorted, trying to figure out where they're going to be going in. Breach is coming out from garage with that Odin. Jet back. There you go. Sangin picks up Jet, and he picks up the Odin as well on Breach. As we got 2 guys rotating from A, and Omen's going to be meeting Sova and back mid here on the ground. Someone picks up Omen, and Scooby-Doo picks up Raze in a
One
lead.
player remaining.
4v5.
Spike planted.
Well, I was going to say 4v2, but now it's 4v1, and Scooby-Doo picks up Rev Bowler, and the last player is just behind in window, being looked at by 3 separate players right now.
And this is not an option of saving for Plot A. It is a win or go home scenario. It's a 1v4 last round if he does not pick up 4 kills and defuse a spike. And running up with a knife, a terrible decision
Attackers
leads to
win.
a death, and that's going to be a 13-9 win for University of Montana, taking the series 2-0.
Absolutely unreal gameplay from Montana as they consistently showed they knew what they were doing. Consistently playing effectively to their abilities. Obviously, with that map, you saw a very attack-heavy composition, and it worked. It just worked. Reyna on their top, Scooby-Dooby taking a 30-kill game. Nice little 30 bomb at the end there to show off on stream, but not led by much. Sangaman falling behind with 10, and Jet right behind him with 18. Sorry, 20 and 18. But, as you notice, Montana consistently showing off what they do know best, is that they have to play attack well, and they have to play defense a little bit slower, especially with that comp. You need to be able to make sure that you can refrag and do that, all that kind of stuff. And forcing Plot A into the last 2 rounds, a 1v4 situation, absolutely the most challenging thing you can possibly do in order to make sure that your team can continue going. However, not to say anything bad about this Rio team, consistently played well and were able to keep up with their competition. It just was a slight few errors. On Ascent, your defense wasn't as strong as Montana's defense. And on Haven, just minor mistakes. Rounds where you should win, just minor mistakes and weird rotations and weird development of gameplay. You saw a couple different things, but characters did what they needed to do. Sova grabbing 10 assists in that game for his 8 kills, and also Caboose grabbing a lot more kills than his Raze, which is exactly what he needs to do in order to continue and allow their team to do what they need to do. So both teams doing what they need to do in order to prolong this game. However, Montana just coming out on top and making sure that they know who is able to get in that playoff spot and challenging Hood College for that last playoff spot.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm looking at the leaderboard, and overall, really, what in my mind, what it came down to is that Montana was able to frag harder, consistently more kills, consistently everybody but Jay going positive this game versus everybody on the side of Rio Grande except for Skyline going negative. It was just they were out fragged, to say the least, in my mind at least.
Very, very true, very true. A couple different things coming out, and I'd love to see this Rio Grande team collect what they've seen here on stream and what we've said here throughout the cast, because I think a lot of things are just a little bit of communication and a little bit of game sense. Right? It's not like they need to change everything that they're doing. They're doing a lot of things right. Most notably, their save rounds are absolutely insane because they're consistently winning on them, right? But on their attacking rounds and where they both have guns, that's where you need to use the communication, because that's where both teams are on an even playing field and you're playing a normal strategy. And this is where you saw Montana come out on top consistently, and where players like Scooby-Dooby just absolutely showed who was boss.
Yeah, well played from both teams, but the series win goes to Montana. And I want to give a big thank you to our sponsors, the NFL alum, along with Helix Esports. Make sure that you watch out for the combine effort from Helix and NECC coming later this year.
The combine will be in January, early January. We're still working on getting all that information out for you guys. If you guys do have anyone that wants to show up to the combine in both a professional manner or a player manner, we would love to see you out in the combine. More information on that, please join our Discord or stay tuned on Twitter for all that information shortly.
Also to ESTV, our linear TV platform. You can on Samsung TV, Vizio, and
Roku.
Thank you. I'm like thinking of the Roku Stick Plus. I couldn't think of the name, but on Roku as well. All of our playoff games will be streamed live there. So make sure you put it on the TV and on Twitch here on NECC. Finally, HyperX, thank you for being an official sponsor of the NECC. That is all for Valorant Tuesday. And what a series here. and a win for Montana. And I want to give a special thanks to Caleb. I think he's above me. I'm normally the one below, but thank you so much for being here and giving us your insight. It was a pleasure to work with you, sir.
Honestly, it was a fun match, and I think we still got a lot to learn as casting partners, but I think that throughout the rest of the season and playoffs, we'll learn a lot more about each other and be able to bring a higher level of content to the viewership in the near future. And
Yes, sir. And
hopefully less audio issues.
but thank you to our commissioner, Jacob Van Ryan, our director of, what's your title?
my title is director of esports, and I know that the casters thank me every match, but I am really just here in the back and making sure that their lives are easier. So I hope that
So thank you for that. Yeah.
I guess that's a good thank you. And thank you all for the viewership for watching throughout this. If you're watching on ESTV, if you're watching anywhere else, thank you for jumping in and watching this broadcast. It means a lot to the NECC and the future development of us, and your information and whatever you guys tell us about how to develop this a lot, how we will develop and all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys for watching. But that is it for us on the NECC today. Valorant Tuesday is over. You guys should check out tomorrow as we got Connor Breeze, Yelkerb, and Jaren Bell casting NECC Overwatch over on the NECC channels at NECC Games, pretty much everywhere. Go check us out. We're going to be live at 6 p.m. EST tomorrow.
All right, and like he was saying, we've got Overwatch Wednesdays, Thursdays. We've got League of Legends Friday, ends with Rocket League, and then we bring back on Monday with Madden, and then finally we're back on Tuesday, which you are watching with Valorant. Thank you. I'm Voltage. That is Caleb, and we will see you next time.